That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, we are going to get to do something extremely cool in this video. I am uploading my rankings to Underdog Fantasy, and I'm drafting off my rankings. Hell, if it has us taking 5 quarterbacks in a row, if it has us taking 5 tight ends in a row, I guess my rankings were buns. I guess we have to go back into the lab and try to fix these. So it's going to be a fun little exercise to A, just see what kind of team our rankings leads to, and B, see how we need to edit these rankings to be more accurate going forward. But of course, before we get into it, please go down there, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's go over to Underdog Fantasy and let's hop into Best Ball Mania. Real quick, if you're unfamiliar with Best Ball Mania, this isn't going to be your mom's fantasy football league. This is going to be a 12-team draft that we are hopping in that not only is a regular 12-team league where obviously you get paid first if you win your 12-team league, you get paid if you get second, yada, 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 all the way down the line. But for the fantasy football playoffs, you're going to be entered into a large field tournament if you get first or second in your 12-team league, where you got $2 million to first, you got $1 million for second, you got $500 for third, yada, yada, yada. Life-changing money all the way down the line. Let's hop into this. Okay, so this draft is starting. We have the 103, Jonathan Taylor off the board at the 101. And if you pull up our rankings, you're going to see that we have McCaffrey at the 2 spot, Cooper Kupp at 3, Jefferson at 4, Jamar Chase at 5. And I'm sorry, I wish we could see an easier view of ADP versus our rankings in particular. But one thing I kept the same is these wide receiver labels here. So you'll notice on our list, we have Justin Jefferson ahead of Jamar Chase, despite it says Jamar Chase, wide receiver 2, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 3. So that's where they would be going in the majority of these leagues, but neither of them are our highest graded players. So we are going to be going Christian McCaffrey here. And based on this draft room right now, looking at all the experience badges that you have, I can tell you one thing. You are going to have so many wide receivers going off the board. This may be almost useless for us because once you get into a draft that has all these wide receiver heavy drafters, you have to adjust your strategy. I would have gone McCaffrey at the 103 regardless, and this will make this video fun. It will make it fun to see how these rankings stack up regardless of what the teams are doing around us. And real quick, if you have not signed up for Underdog Fantasy yet, please make sure you fix your life. Go to the description of the video, go to the comment section, click that link. It will take you to Underdog Fantasy. And when you sign up with promo code FLOCK, they will match your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. And on top of this, you will get our 2022 rankings that you can upload on Underdog Fantasy if you would like to. You'll get our 2022 Dynasty Rookie Draft Guide. They'll match your deposit up to $100. Please take advantage of that. Support this channel. But thankfully, we are getting some teams taking running backs. We really needed that. It would have been ugly if not. I think we're probably going to end up with Mike Evans in the second round. Just a sneak peek. We have some of these players like Mike Evans, Keenan Allen ranked aggressively compared to where their ADP is that I think will be fine coming away with some wide receivers. We also had Joe Mixon ranked aggressively according to his ADP. I actually have Joe Mixon ranked ahead of someone like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry falls to the 108 in this draft, but you'll see, according to Underdog ADP, the majority of these leagues, he's actually going at the 103 or the 104, dependent if the third team wants to go with a running back or Cooper Kupp. Now, I know we probably have a lot of people telling me, Mason, you're an idiot. Why did you take Christian McCaffrey in the first round? Why do you have Christian McCaffrey ranked as your second player overall? Please keep in mind, this is a league, as we showed how important it is to have access to that elite level ceiling at the very end of the season to potentially come away with $2 million, potentially come away with $1 million. I mean, also, if you have the most points in weeks 1 through 16 or 1 through 15, the regular season, you're going to come away with $1 million that way. There are so many different ways to hit those jacked up prices, but what you need is you need access to an elite level ceiling. So whenever I'm drafting teams in here in Best Ball Mania 3, ignore your floor. Please, for the love of God, don't go, oh, he may get injured. I can't. No. Understand that you are most likely not going to win $2 billion. You're not going to win $1 million. Yes, it's a $10 million prize pool, but we should be trying to have the highest ceiling possible, okay? So that's why I'm going Christian McCaffrey at the 103. He averaged 29.5 points per game back in 2019, something that really no running back in the past 10 years outside of McCaffrey has come close to. Now, Nick Chubb goes to the 205. Let's pull up my rankings to see who I currently have as best available. We have Tyreek Hill as best available. Wide receiver 6 on underdog ADP. ADP of 15. I would be very surprised if Tyreek Hill were to make it to us at pick 22. Now, if he does, oh my gosh, we will be one of the very few teams that has the combination of Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill. You don't know how exciting. Oh my God, we have a chance. We have a chance here. Come on. Let us do it. Let us. Come on. Come on. You have no idea how big of a deal this is. If we were able to stack CMC and Tyreek Hill together, I'm not even a massive Tyreek Hill fan this upcoming season, but the amount of teams in this tournament that would have that combination would have been very, very slim. Now, if you look at our rankings, looks like we have Kamara here, and I'm surprised to see how this draft room is going after these running backs. I mean, you're seeing a lot of teams here in the middle round go RB to start. I'm assuming that they're going to hammer in these wide receivers once we get into rounds 4, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, I guess we're going to go running back. As I said, we're just going best player according to our rankings. I believe Alvin Kamara was probably the best player according to ADP as well. So yeah, I mean, I doubt too many teams are going to have the combination of Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara, because McCaffrey, the majority of the time, should be going with the second pick. And if Kamara has an ADP of 18, I think this is going to be a unique combination. Mike Evans goes to the 212. If you noticed our rankings according to ADP, we are going to be much higher on Mike Evans than most. AJ Brown goes off the board. AJ Brown was actually a player that had an ADP sitting at 21, so he fell a decent ways. Clearly, I'm not taking AJ Brown, though, in Philadelphia. So we're on the clock now. T. Higgins, Keenan Allen. I personally think that you could rank either one of these wide receivers how you choose. We had T. Higgins ranked higher than Keenan Allen. We will go T. Higgins as our first wide receiver off the board here at the beginning of the third round. And yeah, we'll slide this up so everybody has a better view of this draft board. But please let me know what you are thinking. Let me know if you enjoy us just drafting off our rankings like this. And real quick, I'm sorry that we didn't do this as a live stream. The reason I decided to do this as a video instead is whenever we live stream, everybody that has been nice enough to support the channel and signed up for Underdog Fantasy and use promo code FLOCK, they're drafting with me. They're drafting in the stream. So if they're looking at my rankings, and you get my rankings when you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, so they have them, it would mess this exercise up. It would mess everything up. People would be going based off our rankings. They'd be sniping us. We're here. This is a regular random league that we just hopped in the public lobby right when we started streaming this video. We told nobody that we are going to be drafting a team right now. James Conner goes in the middle of the third. Josh Allen at the 304. Josh Allen does have an ADP where the majority of drafts he will be going in the second round. So please be prepared for that. Josh Allen's going to be going in the second round in a lot of these. Personally, I'm not keen on taking a quarterback that early. I understand why, because very few quarterbacks have access to that same level ceiling that you would find from a Josh Allen. But especially if you're looking at the wide receiver room in Buffalo, it's going to be hard to stack Josh Allen later on. And really your only options are going to be guys like Dawson Knox as well as Gabriel Davis. And based on where we rank Gabriel Davis, I find it very hard to imagine that we end up coming away with him. Okay, Jalen Waddle ends up going at the 307. George Kittle at the 306. That's really early for George Kittle. I don't even really have anything that we need to see at this point. We have a balanced start so far going CMC, Kamara, and T. Higgins. But like I've said time and time again, what are we chasing in this draft? We're chasing upside. And I believe that both Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara, the running back one in 2019, the running back one in 2020, have enough upside to get us to that $2 million, which is what this is about. So Keenan Allen goes to the 309. Keenan Allen was actually my next best ranked player alongside T. Higgins. I personally don't understand why you're seeing some options like AJ Brown get drafted consistently ahead of Keenan Allen. Keep in mind, AJ Brown fell a little bit in this draft, but the majority of drafts on Underdog, AJ Brown's actually an early second round pick, mid second round pick. His ADP is sitting at 21, and Keenan Allen is falling to the middle of the third, falling to the late third a ton. So I personally think that Keenan Allen's one of the best values in these drafts right now. You have Mike Williams going at the 311. That's very, very interesting. Who's still available? Who are players that we had ranked ahead of Mike Williams? Okay, DK Metcalf falling. I think this has something to do with the drafters that are in here right now. These are very sharp drafters. Interesting to see Metcalf fall. So these wide receivers are getting soaked up. I'd imagine that by the time we're back up on the clock, we're probably going to be stuck taking one of these running backs. You'll notice we have Breece Hall ranked significantly higher compared to his ADP. Oh my God.
It's the Mondo Idiot. Oh, well, nice to meet you, Mondo Idiot.
Sutton at the 312. The names do your research.
Sorry, sir. Doing my best.
He must be looking at some numbers that I can't find. He must be thinking on level 1,000 when I'm on level 100 or level 1. Because, dear God, Courtland Sutton, with a healthy Jerry Jeudy last year, Courtland Sutton averaged about 1.4 receptions per game. Courtland Sutton averaged about 3.9 fantasy points per game with a healthy Jerry Jeudy. That was in a span of 10 games. You have players like Byron Pringle outscoring Courtland Sutton. You had Devin Duvernay outscoring Courtland Sutton. Obviously, you can get excited about Russell Wilson, but to get that excited seems a little crazy. DK Metcalf goes at the 406. Metcalf was a wide receiver. I was screaming was over-rallied at the beginning of the offseason. 406, completely fine with it. He was our highest-ranked player. David Montgomery goes to the 407. So RDS going out there and just slamming these running backs early, really ignoring the wide receiver position. Ooh, maybe. No, we're not getting a wide receiver fall into us. We are 3 picks away, and we have 3 running backs on the board. For the love of God. Why do we have Antonio Gibson ranked this high? This CSV file that we uploaded. Cam Akers goes here at the 408. Please take Antonio. This is why this exercise is good. Now I know how we need to be adjusting these rankings. I need to make a note to myself. Lower Antonio Gibson down. He goes regardless. So we are going to end up coming away with J.K. Dobbins as our 3rd running back. It's scary stacking running backs in these drafts, especially if you are loaded up with a bunch of experienced drafters. But it's nice to know that J.K. Dobbins dodges the NFL draft. He dodges Melvin Gordon as well. He's not getting that added competition to that backfield. This is a running back that was a great prospect coming out of Ohio State in 2020. This is a running back that's going to be playing in one of the run-heaviest offenses in the entire NFL. The issue with J.K. Dobbins is he's not going to get that many targets out of the backfield, but it is what it is. He does have touchdown upside in that Baltimore Ravens offense and can be in a very efficient running environment in Baltimore. He led the NFL in yards per carry his first season. Not saying he's the best running back in the NFL, but I'm saying when you're running alongside Lamar Jackson, really how defensive coordinators and how opposing linebackers have to adjust to Lamar, it allows you so much flexibility. Okay, so Godwin goes at the 412. Completely understand the Godwin selection. That's a wide receiver that not many players will compare to that upside later on. Jalen Hurts at the 501 to get the stack here with A.J. Brown. That's one bad thing about drafting off these rankings is we aren't going to be able to come away with any stacks. And it looks like we're going 4 running backs to start this draft. This is not something I would normally do. Maybe we need to lower these running backs down these rankings. Like I said, once you see those experienced drafters, kind of have a feeling that you are going to be going up against teams that are taking wide receiver after wide receiver after wide receiver. So we are going Breece Hall here, our 4th running back. Oh my God, this is gonna be brutal. So if we weren't drafting off our rankings, what I would be doing at this point is I'd be saying, hell, well, we have to go with an approach where we are most likely just hammering in wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, starting in like round 7. Like once you start 4 running backs in the first 5 rounds, taking another running back in round 6, taking another running back in round 7 will be detrimental to the upside that you could have, especially in this format where you're actually going to be starting 3 wide receivers every single week and it's best ball. Please, other teams, take some running backs. Please take some running backs. But you already saw our rankings. Our rankings had like the next 10 picks all being receiver. So we're probably going to get a lot of wide receivers off the board. We're probably about to get hit with a wide receiver run. I will say Breece Hall in the 5th. I love the value of Breece Hall in the 5th. This is a running back that checks every single box. This is a running back I expect to be a 3-down bell cow player the second that he gets to New York. I'm not really worried about the role that Michael Carter is going to have in this offense. I know a lot of people will point to Javonte Williams' rookie season. What I'll say is, hell, Breece Hall is a significantly better prospect than Javonte Williams was, and I'm not sure that Michael Carter is that much better than Melvin Gordon. Okay, Terry McLaurin at the 508. Not what we wanted to see. That's what we want to see. We got to get Josh Jacobs off the board. We got to get Travis Etienne off the board. Hopefully these players push up like Ezekiel Elliott. Hopefully they push up. I mean, Connor went in the 3rd. I don't even know what other running backs could be drafted at this point. I think we're just about to get a whole lot of orange. Yeah, so those running backs that we were talking, Zeke, Travis Etienne, these guys will be off. Hopefully Elijah Mitchell is drafted as well because we need some of these wide receivers pushed down to us. Oh, for the love of God, give us some receiver help. Okay, Gabriel Davis goes to the 511. Yeah, you didn't see Gabriel Davis when we pulled up our rankings because we're a lot lower on Gabriel Davis. And one thing I will say is we went through and we ranked the top 100 players. And after that, we are just looking at ADP. So we are going to be following our rankings for the top 100 picks. That will be about through 8 or 9 rounds. I believe our last player ranked is actually either Chase Claypool or Chris Olave. So at that point, we will make that flip. You have Rashad Bateman going at the 512. Bateman would have been a player I was excited about getting at the 6-7 turn, especially with his roster construction. Drake London at the 601, talking about some upside selections here. Zeke going off the board. Thank God. Like if we end up getting Travis Etienne in the 6th, Elijah Mitchell off the board, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Last thing we need is Travis Etienne making it to us in the 6th round. I think Etienne's the only other running back that we have ranked in this range. I would love the value, of course, but the issue is this roster. Okay. Now let's kind of try to predict how it is going to go. Yeah, Etienne has to come off. Like, not only do I have Travis Etienne ranked as the best player, but according to his ADP, he's also the best player available. He's an ADP of 57. We're closing in on pick 70. Oh, this is why I didn't live stream this, because I figured people watching this live stream would be trolling us and doing this on purpose, letting a player like Travis Etienne fall this far so we end up having to take him. But hey, maybe a couple people in this draft are watching my computer right now. Who knows what's happening? Burrow at the 606. Take Travis Etienne. Both these teams have 3 running backs. This team has 3. They have Javonte, James Conner, and Cam Akers. I don't know if they can go Etienne. This is our last hope right here. The Josh Allen team. Allen, Antonio Gibson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, and Amari Cooper. You sniped us on Tyreek Hill earlier. Do us a favor and take Travis Etienne here. Okay, Juju's gone. Take Etienne, give us Michael Thomas. Take Travis Etienne and give us Michael Thomas. Come on. Come on. Please. Please, 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 please. Okay.
I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
Oh my God. I'm gonna stick with it. 5 running backs. Oh my. The thing is, y'all don't know how bad this is on Underdog. To go 5 running backs through the first 6 rounds. What I will say is, nobody else will have this roster construction. Nobody's going to have the combination of McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, J.K. Dobbins, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne. I don't know how we have access to a high ceiling. When we're constructing a team around those 5 running backs, we can only start 2 and we have 1 flex. Specifically at the very end of the season, I don't know how we're going to get there. But good news is, no matter what happens here, we're getting a wide receiver. And that's what we're dying for. And we only have 2 more rounds where we're following these rankings. And then we're going crazy. We're going crazy, and then we're able to draft whatever. Michael Thomas, ADP of 58. I have him personally in my rankings. I can't see exactly where I have him ranked. I think we have him ranked a little bit below an ADP of 58, getting him at pick 75 here. Obviously, don't love the fact that they add in Chris Olave. Chris Olave is a wide receiver that I loved coming out of Ohio State, and this is just ugly. Looks like we're pushing wide receivers up our rankings. Looks like we got to move running backs down just slightly. But how the hell was I supposed to know that we were getting Kamara past his ADP, Dobbins past his ADP, Breece Hall past his ADP, Travis Etienne past his ADP? So we'll go Thomas here. We can still save this. We can still save this. If our rankings have us taking receiver rounds 8 and 9, and then we can just load up on maybe some rookie wide receivers with upside. Maybe we can go get a Jameson Williams. Maybe we can go get a Chris Olave later on. That'll be exciting. You got Darnell Mooney at the 706. And it looks like we're taking pretty much an all 2019 team here. Imagine in 2019, you're going in there with Christian McCaffrey, and you also at the same time are looking at Michael Thomas. Oh, that'd be beautiful. If we can access that ceiling, I'm going to be ecstatic. Okay, so now we have some wide receivers going in the middle of round 7. Of course, not what we want to see. We need to see these teams going Kenneth Walker, going A.J. Dillon, getting some running back help here. Okay, so yeah, this was pretty much a guarantee whenever you see this team go with Mike Evans at the 2-3 turn, then Chris Godwin's at the 4-5. They're going to go Tom Brady in the 7th. They're going to go Tom Brady. They get the double stack with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They also have the stack with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. That's how you're going to go through, and that's how you're going to raise your ceiling. Tyler Lockett goes at the 7-10, and these experienced drafters are going to continue to soak up wide receiver. They're not going to be taking 5 running backs at the first 6 rounds. I can guarantee you that. Jameson Williams goes to the 7-11, a player that we were talking about, hoping, making it back to us at the 8-9 turn. Maybe it was a pipe dream. Maybe we still have a shot for some of these other rookie wide receivers. The only rookie wide receivers so far off the board are Drake London, Jameson Williams, Treylon Burks. I believe Garrett Wilson is still available. I would love to get me some Garrett Wilson in the 8th. I'll be honest. Garrett Wilson in the 8th will make me a happy, happy boy. Okay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the 7-12. Thank you. Do your research. Thank you. Please start taking some running backs here. Do me a favor. Take another one. Take A.J. Dillon. Take Kenneth Walker. Yeah, and it looks like our 9th round selection is pick 99. So we'll have a player ranked inside the top 100. So we will have to go through our rankings for rounds 8 and 9 as well. And hopefully the CSV vial, I didn't miss out on any players because that would just be detrimental. I tried to double check it. That's another reason why we're doing this before I upload it over there on Locals for everybody to get the CSV if they want to use these rankings while they're drafting. Of course, not follow them to a T like we are, but that would be pretty cool. Now, Cordell Patterson, A.J. Dillon, thank you and thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I believe, you know what? There's a freaking chance we have Miles Sanders. There's a chance we have Miles Sanders making it to us. Give me Garrett. You know what? I'm not going to throw away $25. We've done this exercise. We've learned our lesson. We'll see who would have been our highest ranked player at pick 94. But I apologize to everybody watching this. I'm not going to light my $25 on fire. If we don't have Garrett Wilson falling to us here, and it's Kenneth Walker instead, I'm not taking Kenneth Walker. I can't do it. Like, you know how much I would hate myself if we look back on this draft, and this draft had a small chance to win that $2 million. McCaffrey hits, Kamara hits, Dobbins hits, Hall hits, ETN hits, T. Higgins, Michael Thomas. And I look back on it and said, hell, just for the video, I ended up going Kenneth Walker over Chris Olave. I will hate myself. But maybe we can stick by these rankings. We got 1 pick left. This team has screwed us every time they've been on the clock. You've been a horrible person to draft next to. I will let you know that right now. Be cure of these, whoever the hell you are. But take Kenneth Walker, take Miles Sanders, take Tony Pollard, take Michael Carter. Don't take Garrett Wilson. There you go, Penny. Over Kenneth Walker. What? But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chasing that ceiling. We're getting Kenneth Walker. I mean, we're getting Garrett Wilson here at the 8-10. Chase Claypool at the 8-11. Oh, God. I actually kind of like how our team's shaping up. We'll go over this in just 1 second. And best case scenario, this team goes Kenneth Walker. They can't go to Deshaun Watson. Maybe deep. Here goes Watson. I'd be very surprised. They took Kyler already. So Miles Sanders goes to the 8-12. I'm surprised to see how low people are in Kenneth Walker. Obviously, Kenneth Walker not going to catch passes at the same time Rashad Penny does have the contract. But come on, they took him in round 2. This is a running back that is an elite level athlete. He was hyper productive, and at the same time, he has the size to handle a 3-down workload. We already saw that in college. And you're taking Sanders, Tony Pollard over him. Okay, Tyler Boyd goes. I'm going to take a wide receiver. We are going to end up going Chris Olave. I'm sorry, we're throwing our rankings out the window. Now this is turning into a real draft. We're going to go Chris Olave, and we are potentially going to be setting up. This is what it's going to be. This is going to be the all 2019 draft. Let me go over this real quick with y'all. Check this out. So we're taking Olave there. One of the reasons is I love Chris Olave as a prospect. Another reason is we're chasing an elite level ceiling. I believe Olave has that. And if we look at what we've done with this team so far, we're done drafting running back. We're only receiver, quarterback, tight end from here on out. You have Christian McCaffrey. What did we already say? In 2019, 29.5 points. We got Kamara. Michael Thomas broke NFL records in 2019. Now, we also have Chris Olave. So we have that triple stack with the New Orleans Saints offense. Do you remember who was breaking fantasy football in 2019? Do y'all remember who propped up 2 top 10 wide receiver seasons? It was Jameis Winston in Tampa with Chris Godwin, with Mike Evans. So you better believe we are targeting Jameis Winston in this draft, because if this team is going to hit, we need to make sure that New Orleans Saints offense is bonkers, which is a possibility if this coaching staff lets Jameis Winston turn back into that DGAF quarterback. It's highly unlikely, but what I will say is it's more likely than us winning $2 million. How many teams are going to have Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Alvin Kamara on the same roster as Christian McCaffrey, though? So I think we have a shot. We're turning this into the all 2019 draft. We're going with Jameis Winston here. Probably not in the 10th, not in the 11th, not in 12th, not in 13th. We'll have to be checking out his ADP. We have Kareem Hunt going off the board, Aaron Rodgers. Maybe I have to do a double take with my Kenneth Walker ranking. Please let me know what y'all think of my Kenneth Walker ranking, because I think I have him ranked ahead of Rashad Penny, ahead of Miles Sanders, ahead of Pollard, Singletary, and Kareem Hunt. Am I just getting this rookie hype? Am I going crazy? I also am the person who took Breece Hall in the 5th. Maybe I'm going crazy here. Kenneth Walker lasts all the way to the 9-11. We have a team that's also stacked up decently on running back. I mean, this is a team that has Mixon, Dalvin, Zeke, and Kenneth Walker. Thank you, my friend, for soaking up some of these players. Thank you. Hopefully do your research. Has to go running back. Hopefully Big Punisher has to go running back. But these experienced drafters, very rarely are they going running back the majority of the time. They know in the best ball format with the spike week volatility, it's going to be best to go with the receiver position. Here, they go Watson at the 9-12. Looks like they are an auto draft. I think they actually set a queue, though, because we've seen some picks like Cortland Sutton, just way out of the ordinary, nowhere close to being top players according to ADP. So going to Sean Watson at the 9-12 isn't the best for us, but we don't have any Cleveland Browns, so it's not like we are desperate for a stack there. And I was possibly going to end this video after the 10th round or so once we got through with our rankings, but I'm going to keep it going because obviously we're finishing this draft regardless. And I want to see how this works out, because I think if we get Winston at a good value and we're able to build around the wide receiver position, this team's not completely dead. This team's not completely dead, as I was worried about after we took Travis Etienne at the 6-7 turn. Russell Gage, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You don't like seeing those wide receivers go off the board. I mean, when we've constructed our team like this, we need those wide receivers making it back to us. But let's pull this back up. Like I said, I think we're back with ADP at this point. Oh, I was hoping there were some players that we missed off the CSV. I guess we're going Rondale Moore and saying, like, we have no option. That's the thing. We have no option but to take Rondale Moore here. Like, trust me, I want to say Alexander Madison's a much better pick than Rondale Moore, but what am I supposed to do? Alan Lazard goes to the 10-12. Jacoby Myers to the 11-01. James Cook at the 11-02. Oh, this is why we can do what we did earlier. Okay. I don't even know what we're supposed to do at this pick. The wide receivers are just so bad when it comes to their value. You know, I have no option. It's a horrendous pick. It is a long shot. The issue with taking Odell Beckham Jr. here, I think it's fine to take Odell in some of these leagues because the ceiling that he will have during the fantasy football playoffs in particular. However, that's going to be at the very end of the year. You know you're not going to have Odell at the beginning of the season. And if you look at this roster and how we've constructed it, we have Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson as significant picks. So if we have rookies that are most likely going to start slow as well, while we want to be gearing up and we want to be prepping everything for that last 3-week stretch, a part of that tournament where there is the $2 million, where there is the $1 million up for grab, we need to make sure that we at least get there. And also, I mean, if you have the most points throughout the season, you do get $1 million. So let's take Devontae Parker at the 1103. It's nasty. I will say Thornton being added to New England legitimately does nothing. He's going to be a wide receiver that maybe gets snaps year one, and all he was drafted to do is stretch the field. That's all he was drafted to do, to take targets away. Take defensive attention away from Jacoby Myers, to take defensive attention away from Devontae Parker, to keep an extra safety back so they can run the ball more effectively and opposing defensive coordinators can't stack the box. But you see that pretty much every running back pick in this round is dramatically, and I repeat, dramatically better than the wide receivers we got left with Rondale Moore, with Devontae Parker. So if I were to go back and change this draft, what we would have had to do instead is possibly, instead of taking Dobbins here, we go wide receiver. We take Chris Godwin. And then instead of having to, no matter what, go with the wide receiver with these two selections, like we legitimately did not have a choice based on this format. There we could have, instead of going with a Devontae Parker, or instead of going with the Rondale Moore, we could have got James Cook. Instead of going with the Devontae Parker, we could have got our choice of Alexander Madison, Michael Carter, Melvin Gordon, really whoever you wanted. But it's nice to see these running backs going off. You got Rashad White, Dameon Pierce, a couple of rookie running backs going at the 11-12 turn. Running backs just off our board entirely. George Pickens at the 12-02. Pickens was a player that I considered where we took Devontae Parker. The issue with George Pickens is very similar to Odell Beckham Jr. While I agree that I do think he has that upside at the end of the year, there comes to a point where you can't just continue to take players for that late season production like Garrett Wilson, like Chris Olave, because it's not like every single one of these rookie wide receivers is going to hit. Corey Davis goes to the 12-03. Corey Davis would have been a player that I would have taken over Devontae Parker if it wasn't for Garrett Wilson getting drafted to the Jets, but obviously we have to adjust. We don't have any potential stacks with quarterbacks outside of the Jameis Winston pick, however. Tua Tagovailoa goes to the 12-06. Y'all know I have been one of the leaders of the Justin Fields hate club, but if Fields would have made it to us at the end of the 12th, I probably would have gone Justin Fields. I really like Dotson down here. I forgot that we're not live streaming this. I can actually just say my thoughts. Yeah, I do like Dotson down here, but I'm thinking that we could potentially get him on the way back around. Okay, so one thing is, this team here on the turn has a total of, okay, I know what we're doing. I'm going to come after this team. I'm sorry. BM, C-Key. Also, real quick, if you sign up for Underdog Fantasy and use promo code FLOCK, use a name I can read, please. Use a name I can read so if you get in the live streams with us, I'm not embarrassing myself. So this team, you know what they're doing? They're sitting there at home right now going, I have Tom Brady, I have Mike Evans, I have Chris Godwin, and I have no tight end. And my friend, I would let you have it. I would let you have Gronk making it to you. But I got to take revenge. I got to take revenge for y'all letting Travis Etienne make it to me in the 6th, ruining this draft. So we're going Gronk. You know they're on tilt. You know they're upset. And I don't care.
All the way through, because he's not doing his job. It's that simple.
We're going to go Gronk at the 12-10. And we're going to get our choice of David Bell or Jahan Dotson coming back to us in the 13th round. This team, they were 100% going tight end. I like Cole Kmet as well. Maybe in another league, I go Cole Kmet over Rob Gronkowski. But like I said, we're going for upside. We're going for upside. We're going for upside. They take Tyler Higbee. Interesting to take Higbee and Irv Smith Jr. I love me some Irv Smith Jr., so you knew they were going with tight end there. I think at this pick, we have to go receiver. If we're getting a round one wide receiver falling to us, obviously a horrible situation, but he was hyper productive the final 2 years at Penn State. I don't like the fact that he stayed all 4 years there. But if we're comparing him to like other wide receivers in this range, please give me some Jahan Dotson. Give me all the Jahan Dotson. We are desperate for a receiver. We currently only have Michael Thomas, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Rondale Moore, and Devontae Parker. I know we are just speaking on not wanting to continuously just take a rookie after rookie after rookie after rookie. But it is what it is. It is what it is. That's all I got to say about that. Jamison Crowder goes to the 13-04. David Bell at the 13-05. I'm not saying we're caught up with wide receiver just yet. Definitely, we are still behind the 8 ball at receiver. And you know what? I forgot. This isn't a 20-round draft. This is now an 18. This is not the big board super flex. Ooh, so if this is a 20-round draft, we're, I guess, only going 2 tight ends. I guess we're only drafting 2 tight ends when we take Gronk here, and we're praying that Gronk somehow, some way manages to stay healthy all season. Probably stack Gronk with I don't even know what tight end later on once we have someone like Robert Tonyan off the board. I mean, if Cole Kmet were to make it back to us, of course I'm taking Kmet. You know, he's my guy. I would take Noah Fant as well. But in reality, we're probably getting someone like David Njoku. Yeah, that'll probably be the second tight end we end up with. I think the addition of David Bell actually is probably pretty bad for David Njoku. Okay. Let's scroll this down. Van Jefferson goes at the 1307. Do not misunderstand this. Even though we have not taken a running back since round 6, we still need to see running backs going off the board, to see these tight ends, to see these wide receivers drafted. It's no bueno for us. It is no bueno, to say the least. Okay, Tim Patrick goes at the 1309. Patrick would have been a fine wide receiver in this format for us to take at the end of the 14th. At what point would we take Odell? Kenneth Gainwell goes, thank you. Are you sure you don't want some more running backs on the turn here? Okay, Big Punisher, it looks like Crook. Both are low on running backs. Maybe Tim Roberts as well. I think and Notorious Dab. He also doesn't have a single tight end, though, so we can assume he's probably going to go Cole Kmet. But running backs that are currently available: Gus Edwards, Raheem Mostert, Darrell Henderson, Kyron Williams, Keel Herbert, Naheem Hines. A couple of rookies. Yeah, the running back position's gross. If I were these guys, I wouldn't be taking running back either. I'd continuously just take these receivers. No. Okay, let's queue up Winston so we know that we need to take him. Let's remember that we got to take Winston. The thing is, do we have to take him on the turn? Do we have to take him on the turn? We'll see what makes it to us. ADP of 170. Yeah, we have picked 171. We're taking Jameis Winston on the turn. I'd be very surprised if any team goes Jameis Winston that's not us. What would be the purpose of you going with Jameis Winston if you were not the fantasy flock? If you do not have one of Kamara, Michael Thomas, or Chris Olave on your roster? We have every single one of those guys. Okay, so Mostert goes to the 1405. You know how many... I always love bringing this up when Raheem Mostert's drafted. Raheem Mostert's 30 years old. You know how many games in the NFL he has? Like, if you compare me to him, how many games do we collectively have with 20 carries at the NFL level? If you add up all the games that I have in the NFL with over 20 carries a game and all the games that you have Raheem Mostert with more than 20 carries in a game, collectively, we have one. Collectively. I'm not going to let you know who that came from, but he's 30 years old. I'm nowhere close to 30. So who knows? Maybe I'm at 2 or 3 by the time I'm 30. Okay, Brian Robinson, Keel Herbert. Thank you. You know what? We're getting a tight end. Both teams in front of us. We're getting Cole Kmet. I am perfectly fine going Cole Kmet and Rob Gronkowski as my only 2 tight ends in this draft. This is the point. I have 3 rookie wide receivers. I have Breece Hall as well. This is the point where I need to tell myself, no matter what happens, you cannot take another rookie, because I went through and I scrolled through this ADP. I saw John Mechie's name. I was like, oh, John Mechie. Oh, no, you can't do that. We're going to go Cole Kmet. Actually, who do they have at tight end? No, they're loaded up at quarterback. Like, literally neither one of these teams is legally allowed to take a quarterback. Like, you'd have to arrest them if they went QB. So Odell Beckham Jr. Okay, so we have Jameis Winston. We're getting him locked in here. I think we save this draft. Now, of course, this is not optimal construction. It's not optimal to go this heavy running back early on. But I think we maybe saved it. Especially, keep in mind, when you're drafting in this, you have to assume that everything goes right. Everything goes right. So if we have Kamara, if we have Michael Thomas, if we have Chris Olave, even though we waited this late on quarterback, we've seen Jameis Winston be a top 5 quarterback in fantasy before. We saw that in 2019. And when we're betting on this offense, we're saying, hey, hell, Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, they're able to elevate Jameis Winston similar to 2019 levels. If Winston were to go back to being a top 5 quarterback in fantasy and these players hit, we don't need a second we don't need a third quarterback on this team. We definitely need a second, but we don't need a third. So we're going to go Winston. And what will be nice is I think we don't need to draft 3 quarterbacks. I think we only need to draft 2 QBs, 2 tight ends, 5 running backs, and that's going to open up a couple extra roster spots for us with receiver. It'll open up some roster spots for us at wide receiver. Scroll this down. Ooh. And I keep on thinking, oh, let's go show the people in the live stream the top of the board. No, this is a video. Everybody saw the top of the board already. Okay, so Mac Jones goes to the 1504. Obviously, the majority of drafts, you're going to have Mac Jones going before Jameis Winston. I prefer Mac Jones. I prefer Zach Wilson over Jameis Winston. But the issue is, we're all in on the Saints offense in this draft. That's how we win $2 million, is if the Saints go to 2019 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which very, very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. But it's a possibility. Well, let's not act like it's not possible. Okay, Jared Goff at the 1506. Curtis Samuel at the 1507. Zach Wilson. I don't know if it's good to see us. I mean, good to see these quarterbacks come off the board for us. Kind of is what it is. Actually, who are we going to be left with? Can't be taking someone like Kenny Pickett. Like we need someone starting right away. We need someone starting right away, especially if Winston misses the first. I don't want to say he's going to miss any time at all, but especially if the timeline with Winston and the injury is unclear. But yeah, we got 2 more receivers on this team and 1 more quarterback. I think this is sneaky. I think this is a sneaky good team. I don't know why I'm talking myself into it though. I don't know why. But if you got Winston blowing up with this offense and we have these rookie wide receivers hitting, like let's just say this wide receiver class lives up to the hype, right? Let's just say that happens. We need 2 things to happen. We need this rookie wide receiver class to live up to the hype, and we need the Saints to be bananas. But if that happens, Garrett Wilson becomes rookie season Jalen Waddle. Chris Olave becomes rookie season Jalen Waddle, or I don't want to say rookie season Jamar Chase. Of course, that's not happening. But he becomes rookie season T. Higgins. Hell, we could have wide receiver 1, low-end wide receiver. Getting ahead of myself. Let's pray that we get some wide receivers making it to us. Thank God Wan'Dale Robinson goes to the 15-12, where I would have been trying to convince myself to draft him earlier. This is another team that's gone very rookie heavy. I love the rookie value in these drafts right now. Maybe it's because I am obsessed with Dynasty Fantasy Football at this time of the year, and I am doing a poor job of getting our redraft hats on. But you're seeing this team as well. London at the 601, Rashad White at the 11-12 turn with Dameon Pierce, then Jalen Tolbert, Alec Pierce, Wan'Dale Robinson. See, maybe he has more rookies than I do. They didn't spend as much on the rookies as I do, but they're going out there and rostering a ton. I think they are some of the best values you're going to find in these drafts right now. Sammy Watkins goes to the 1603. Watkins would have been an example of a player that I would have been targeting in the late rounds here. Just someone random that can spike for us through 2 to 3 weeks this season. That's kind of what we're looking for. Davis Mills gone as well. Are we going to have any starting quarterbacks? Okay, we have Carson Wentz making it to us. Oh, okay. Please, Carson Wentz, make it. Oh, my God. 3 quarterbacks. There are 2 teams with 2 quarterbacks ahead of us. One took Burrow and Tua. The other one took Josh Allen and Mac Jones. So I think we're safe on getting Carson Wentz. Yeah, because you look at this. I think we're safe on getting Carson Wentz because you can't draft 4 quarterbacks in this format. Like I said, you'd be arrested. And the Josh Allen team, if you take Josh Allen at the end of the 2nd, the beginning of the 3rd, also, you cannot be drafting 3 quarterbacks. That's why you draft Josh Allen that highly, so you only have to draft 2. Like, when you wait as late as I did, I'm telling you, every smart person on the planet is going to be telling you have to draft 3. And we probably... Ooh, you know what? I'm going to get sneaky about it. Obviously, we need Carson Wentz here, but this team has Kyler, Ryan Tannehill, and Matt Ryan. And the team between spent, I believe, their 5th and 7th round selections on Jalen Hurts and Tom Brady. So instead, we're going to go wide receiver. We need another receiver. Chenault's fine. Obviously, you liked him more last year than you do this year. Yeah, we're going to go Laviska Shenault. I think we're very safe to get Wentz making it back to us. We are going to have a pseudo stack with Carson Wentz where we will have Jahan Dotson. Unless this team just spites us for taking their Rob Gronkowski and they go ahead and take Carson Wentz. But I'd be very surprised about that. Sterling Shepard goes to the 16-11. Ooh, please let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Hopefully I can premiere this and be hanging out in the premiere as well. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'll premiere this video. Ooh, but God, I'm interested. I'm interested on hearing your thoughts. I think there's a small chance we saved it. Obviously, this team has an extremely low floor. If the Saints are what we expect the Saints to be, we are screwed. Like, there's no way around that. This team has a very low floor. Donta Foreman goes to the 17-01. Wide receiver. Is there any news on Julio? I'm assuming not. Assuming everybody would have been like, oh my God, is Julio Jones mattering? Essentially, do we want Julio or Hamler or Byron Pringle or Marquez Callaway? Actually, I'm an idiot. We need Carson Wentz. You know how embarrassing that would have been? How embarrassing would that have been if I forgot that we needed a Wentz and we ended up going with the wide receiver there? Oh, thank God we caught that. Oh, that would have been brutal. But let me recap this. Remind everyone that we went off the board in the 9th round. The 9th round, the first half the draft, we went strictly based off our rankings. You should not start your drafts on Underdog with 5 running backs through the 6 rounds, but we are doing an exercise, testing out our rankings. We learned some lessons, and we know we need to move these RBs down. But when we went off the rankings and we pivoted, I think we saved it with the last 8 rounds. CMC, Kamara, Dobbins, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne as probably the best running back core Underdog Fantasy has ever seen. Ever. T. Higgins, Michael Thomas, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Rondale Moore, Devontae Parker, Jahan Dotson, Laviska Shenault at receiver. Now our issue is quarterback. Quarterback is disgusting. Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz. We have one of the lowest floors and ceilings at the quarterback position in this league, probably in any league Underdog's ever seen. And one thing that's bad about having a low ceiling and a low floor at quarterback is they score a lot of points. They matter a lot. But what I will say is, and I already said this, if this team was going to do anything, we need the Saints to be a top 5 offense, which is unlikely, but it's a possibility. And dear God, this team continues to slam these rookies, takes Tyrion Davis-Price and Tyler Beatty to finish off their draft. I don't hate it. At some point, when 4 of your 6 running backs are rookies, I think maybe it will matter. But I agree that I think the majority of the values in these drafts today as it stands is actually with these current rookies. But okay, Cedric Wilson at the 1803, KJ Hamler at the 1802. Oh, I'd love to get Hamler making it back to us. If we get Marquez Callaway, just continuing to build on this Saints stack, have the entire team there, because the only way this team does anything is if Winston comes out slinging. Kyren Williams, I actually don't mind at all taking Kyren Williams in the last round here. Like, obviously not for this team, but I'm saying if you're another team, if you're a team that waited on running back into the last round, Kyren Williams, pretty good value here. Byron Pringle, Marquez Callaway, both available. And let's fire up another New Orleans Saint. And you're going to see that we have an incredibly low projection. The reason for this low projection is A, we only have 2 quarterbacks. B, those quarterbacks are horrendous. And C, we have a crap ton of rookies. The rookies are always going to have very low projections. They have a much wider range of outcomes. Okay, so Byron Pringle goes to the 1807. Shakir goes to the 1808. Oh, no, this team's the one who took Allen. I was going to say, if you have Allen, Shakir's probably someone you need. Give us Callaway. Bring him home. Yeah, Thornton not even getting drafted. Very similar to Tutu Atwell last year. Are you freaking kidding me? Why do you need Callaway? Why? So now Callaway's off the board. What we are looking to do is we are looking to take someone that's not really being drafted at all in these. So we are just scrolling through looking for someone that's going undrafted. So you don't want to be taking Isaiah McKenzie, Nelson Aguilar, yada, yada, yada. We'll take Thornton. It is what it is. Like, this is a wide receiver that obviously has the elite level speed. That's the only reason he went so high in the actual NFL draft. But Thank you for checking out the live stream. Thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you go use promo code FLOCK on Underdog Fantasy. Get access to our rankings. Support this channel. Go have some fun. Like I'm having fun damn near every single day in these drafts. Use promo code FLOCK. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day.